Hey yo everyone! And here we are in Satisfactory as you see. And today I thought, as you would probably see from the title down below, that I would show you the project that's about to take place and maybe get some ideas from some of you as well for it. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So as you can see, we are back at the main base in Satisfactory, and it is rather crazy. But we'll jump down here. We are starting to have problems. So this base has served us really well up till this point. I think we're just over 100 hours into this game, but it's no longer serving us very well, and this is mainly why. We have all these assemblers and manufacturers just kind of thrown in here to try and get our level ups. So our heavy modular frames, our computers, they're just kind of thrown together here. And we did start trying to redo the base, and we did our whole iron setup over here, but it's kind of run out of space, and this isn't very conducive. And on top of that, we have all the tiers done here. We have almost all of the stuff done in the MAM. Oh, let's see, radio signal. So we're almost all the way done. Sulfur, we got one more left in quartz. Power slugs done. Nutrients done. Mycelia done. Flower petals done. Caterium done. And then we kind of stopped there. But we're pretty much all the way done. So we have almost everything unlocked. And we have gotten our train system set up recently too. And to me that meant we need a new base. We have such a demand now, and we have all these new things unlocked, that we need a new base. This one is just not serving our purposes very well. We'd have to wipe it all down and rebuild it to fit our manufacturing and our assembler setups, and it would be a lot of work. So let's just start new. We have a whole world set up here, and we're just down in this corner. So as you can see, if you've been on the Twitch streams, we have started a foundation up here for the new base. Mainly we went North Bay because it's got like 10 oil nodes, and power has been a problem. Like, anyone who's been following the streams knows that power is a problem for me. Right now we're floating above 5,000, and if our power cuts, we might not be able to start it back up again. And we've got a lot of fluctuation. We just need a solid power setup for this giant expansion to get better assembler and better manufacturing. So let me take you up to the new location, and you can get an idea of what I need help with. So I'm going to jump on the train and head up there, and we will check it out. So here we are at the location for the new base. So we are up, as we saw earlier, in the northern shore coastline area, and it is a really nice location. Like I said, there's about 10 different oil nodes. I've got some oil extractors already set up and kind of ready to go for when we get far enough. But with this base, one of the big premises, like I said, is we now have trains, and we now have all this assembling and manufacturing to do. So I wanted to set up a giant location where we can have a bunch of little sub bases throughout the entire map, ship everything up to this mega base. So when it enters, it actually splits into 4 different lines, each with 2 sets of stations. So we have a total here of 8 supply locations per stretch, and a total of 8 different train stations. So 8 train stations, each with 4 different supply drops or pickups, means that we are working with a lot of resources. So it's got a lot of potential for intake and output of various resources and commodities. So it's going to really act as quite a train depot to bring all these resources in. And as you can see, I've already started on one of the stretches, even taking and hooking up a bunch of belts to the outputs for the supply depots. And these are all running up here to a resource spline up the side of the base. So I have 8 depot locations per side. So we got a total of 16 per side, which is a total of 32 belts, each set up as a Mark V belt going into the spline. The spline takes all these belts and pushes them up to the next floor, where they will come out, and we have this temporary ramp set up. So we'll actually jump up there and show you where I kind of need help. I think I came up with a different idea versus how I have this set up now, but I would love to hear down in the comments below what you guys think. So all those splines come up, or the belts come up the spline, and they all come up the side of the spline on this level. And from here, they're going to actually turn out to the side. Oh, I never put this back. Just go ahead and do that. So they come up, they go out per side, and then they come out here. Now, the idea is that this first floor above the train depot is going to be resource management and storage overflow. So all these belts are going to come out and they're going to go into boxes. Now, I was thinking of having 2, 3, I don't know how many boxes actually stacked on each other or in front of each other. So we'll have all this resource come in, and it'll have a overflow storage system. So that way it handles the ups and downs of resources coming in from the train. So it should be able to keep a steady flow of resources coming out, even though the train is going to be in and out, dropping resources here and there. So we'll have a little bit of an overflow, and then eventually actually on this end of them, there would actually be splitters that would then go into an overflow for our awesome sinks. So they come out, have an overflow into the awesome sink, have overflow storage boxes to keep a consistent line coming out to the manufacturing, and then they'll actually go to the other side of this giant building, which, by the way, is a 45 by 45. Like, look how tiny our storage section looks. But this will all end up on the other side, and we'll have different splines going up. So this has a single spline coming up, but what'll end up happening is probably almost in the cardinal directions. So one on the front and probably one on each side of the base. There'll actually be splines with resources that will go up. And then on each floor, say for example, the floor above here, if that is my floor that does reinforced plates, that spline would then just pull off plates, screws, whatever recipe I'm using, and those belts will then head into that manufacturing area, do what it needs to do, and then the belts can just feed back into splines. The idea is that from this floor up to the top floor, you'll have spline systems going up and down, just managing all the resources in the building. So it's going to be a huge setup, but my problem is this, to me, looks horrible. And I don't know if any of you have a better idea. So I have resources coming from the train stations. But to make this clean, So here's the perfect example for you. To make this clean, this belt comes out, turns. This belt comes out, turns. So these are going to be the same resource. They're coming out of the same supply depot. This one's in the 3rd spot. This one's in the 6th spot. That means they're coming out 3 belts apart on the top floor, the first floor here. So it looks nice and clean down here. Everything just turns and goes nice and neatly into the spline. But out here, you got concrete here, concrete here. These two are next to each other, but those are actually empty. Plates here, plates all the way down here. So this is the issue I'm running into, is resources don't come out next to each other. So I've got like this belt coming up, then having to jump all the way over there, and then this belt coming up and having to jump all the way over here. And, you know, this belt comes up, has to move over that way. So it's all a giant rat's nest. Now, I initially tried it this way. So all this comes up, nice and neatly comes out, turns into a nice line. What I'm thinking, and like I said, maybe you guys have better ideas. Let me know in the comments. I'm thinking, do all that rat's nesting that's over here, in here. And the idea I came up with, that I'm probably going to change to, is convert these to 2 belt walls. So it'll be 2 whole walls. Extend this by 2. So I think right now it's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, 6. So it'd have to go to 8 because I've got 16 lines. So I would extend this out 2 more. And then instead have it pull over the belts. So that first one is the same as, looks like the 5th one. So what would happen is that would do what it's doing now. So it comes out, turns. But what I can do is, instead of having to pull that belt all the way over, is this 5th belt, what it would do is it would come out and then it would just go up, jump over these belts, and then come down and go out. So in essence, I would just be skipping these belts over each other. So this plate comes out, plate turns, goes out that wall. Well, that other plate that's over here would just jump up, go over the rest of these belts, and then come down next to that plate and go out the wall. So it means I might need to push this wall forward 1, so that way the turns work a little bit better in the tight area up here. I can then make sure I have enough space to do vertical conveyors and just run stuff, resources straight over, drop it back down using a vertical conveyor. It would give me a little bit of a buffer. But I think it might look the cleanest. And then I could have everything coming out in a block. It'd be the 2 belts of the same resource. And then you just pull the one out straight down the middle, goes into a box, pull the other one up, straight down the middle, into the box. So you'll have a little bit of a twisty here. Well, unless what we do is do 2 walls. So unless what we could do is maybe have like that. Single, single. So what I'm wondering then, do I have aluminum on me? I do. I think it technically might be going down a little bit, but that looks fairly straight. I think it's technically not straight. But my OCD, if it's not straight, can barely pick up on it. Like, it looks pretty darn straight. So we might just convert to that idea. So we do the same 8 wide. So we bring this out 2 more. we just do single holes actually. One there, one there, one there, one there. And then what would happen is the belt would just come out, turn in. The one that's further away pops up and then turns into this. So all this would just get split up. Because then it doesn't matter where it's at in this chain. You just dead end it, put it up in the air, and then shove it forward into the box. I think that's the cleanest I've come up with. So yeah, let me know down below if you have any ideas on how to take this mishmash arrangement and clean it up and get it into boxes. So get it into these storage boxes. Because once I come out of these storage boxes, I mean, it's easy. You pull the one out, you can drop that over to the side and run it right next to it. You can bring them out that way, straight into a spline. I can easily, once they're sorted, in essence, the issue is we're sorting and trying to get them into storage. So I hope you enjoyed this look at our mega base project that we are starting up here in the northern coast of the Satisfactory map. So like I said, if you have any ideas for me for the storage system that we have set up there, go ahead, put that in the comments down below, or you could put it in the Discord as well. You could also let me know as I play on the Twitch stream at 12:30 a.m. Eastern Friday, or you can catch a non-satisfactory stream on Sunday, Monday, Wednesday as well. So feel free to let me know what ideas you have, and I hope that till next time you keep building and don't let the bug bite you too much. Have a good one, everyone. Look at that. Oh man, that's a huge zone that it just opened up. And it's going to keep expanding and unlocking more and more of that map.